Well, hello people, and welcome to a little video showcasing some of the best maps that you can get from Paradox Mods once the service launches on the 25th of March. There's some really cool custom maps already available, so without further ado, let's dive into them and take a look at them, shall we? First of all, we have the beautiful Black Dragon Canyon that is based off of Utah by Rafterman NZ. This map also requires the map texture replacer mod, which is also available on Paradox Mods, so you just need to grab that as well to get the desert theme, of course. But the map is set within the North American theme, has a 3 to 34 degrees climate, set within the Northern Hemisphere, and also has a 59% buildable area, with a ton of natural resources and all of its outside connections. The map also does come with a link to a texture file to achieve some nicer textures within the cliff faces. However, upon following this link, I did find out it's a paid texture, so I believe this is the reason why the map author cannot distribute it freely. But of course, you are free to import your own cliff textures via the map theme replacer mod, should you wish to do that. For those interested in the natural resources, of course, with custom maps, we never need to worry about this sort of stuff. But plenty of fertile land that follows the river that runs along the floor of the canyon, and then ore and oil in plentiful supply either way. Not a vast amount of trees, of course, because you are in the desert, but it is forestry, so of course you can always plant your own, should you want to get involved in that. And the air pollution, if you're looking to plant in some industry, is all blowing kind of away from the mountain ridges down towards the southeast, if you like, if you take this configuration. And the terrain lines, as you would expect, are pretty uneven, but it's a beautiful map, this one. And really just taking a look down at the canyon, it's stunning. And I think it's really a testament. You know, this is kind of like the first wave of custom CS maps as well, and that's really exciting. There's some great overgrowth palettes around here down by his river. So super cute, but let's take a look at some of the main infrastructure across Black Dragon Canyon. There's a little rail yard over here as well with an old abandoned truck. A very kind of Arizona style interchange, definitely recognize these from the days of building Ilos. Super wide, nice and curvy, very kind of Southwest America. But very nice, always cool to see infrastructure like this. And as we head further towards these very dramatic mountain ridges, it's a beautiful looking map, isn't it? Probably one of the most beautiful we're going to look at in today's video. But just absolutely stunning. I love looking at it. It's super nice. Raftman has done an absolutely stunning job of this. We'll head over to his little lay-by over here, where he does have a little coach rest stop here using some of the coach props. These are actually evacuation buses, which is really cool to see how he's used them. And next to a little bit of coach parking, of course, there's little rest stop here as well, where there's also some great use of the park info signs here. Very kind of like Zion National Park, this, isn't it? A super cool little lay-by, great map detailing, and you know, just the tip of the iceberg for what's possible now with custom CS maps going forward. So really love to see this kind of things. Great use of the textures, the props, a couple of little porter cabins over here as well by the rocks looking out over these very dramatic mountain ridges. Very cool. The highway then disappears up into that canyon with some great networking here as well. Just nice to see those CS2 vanilla tools in here as well. There is some black spots here. I think that's just the shadows of the rocks, isn't it? So that's to forgive some awkward lighting bugs, but nothing serious to worry about. That then snakes off here, and then you enter this very dramatic mountain ridge here, which is very Utah, isn't it? All these very big kind of crags and canyons. So totally unbuildable, but it gives you an extremely beautiful kind of backdrop to work with, which is really nice. If there's one thing I do like about CS2's maps, it's mountains. I think they're much more kind of realistically scaled to the real world, I think. So this ridge runs right through the middle of the map and right into your non-buildable area here. Of course, you can get access to this area here if you want to run the 529 tiles mod. But lots of little scars in the canyon. Look how narrow this little stream is down here as well. These kind of narrow waterways weren't really possible in CS1 just with the way the terraforming and the water worked, but really cool little mountain desert streams that all wind down and go back out into the rest of the map we were over earlier. We're cool to see some water features in here too. There is another little detailed lay-by exit over here as well, with a pretty interesting exit system here off of the 4-lane highway. It comes up, snakes up onto the hill, to again provide another really pristine view down that valley. That's a pretty special view there, isn't it? I think we'll grab a little screenshot of that for the thumbnail possibly. But just really cute. I absolutely love it. It's a great map that he's done. It's cool to see a desert theme already available so soon as well. And just the tip of the iceberg, really. So that's kind of it for the map. It's pretty sparsely populated, you know, it is a desert map. But some really great detailing, a totally unique theme as well, of course. Don't forget to go ahead and check out the map description as well for further instructions and details from the map maker on how to import those texture files should you want to get involved with it. But without it, as I'm playing it today, it's still absolutely stunning. So big shout out to Raptorman for this one. Super cool map. He does also have a cinematic video on his channel that I will leave linked down below in the description should you want to check that out. Otherwise, super cool, great map. Go check out Black Dragon Canyon. Next up, we have Cloudy Bay by one of the most legendary map makers from Cities Skylines 1, Sidai, who of course is responsible for the Bay of Rivers, where we're currently building Orchid Bay, has returned with Cloudy Bay, which is a very buildable map with a 79% buildable area. It's in the Northern Hemisphere. It has a -5 to 35 degrees centigrade temperature range with the North American theme, a ton of natural resources, and all of its available outside connection. For those interested in natural resources, you can pretty much put your farms wherever you want due to the insane abundance of fertile land. But this is really how it should be. You shouldn't be limited to these very awkward little spots of fertile land that we get in the vanilla maps. This is much better. So farms can go anywhere you want. Or it's definitely focused around a little pocket on the river and up towards the northern mountain ridges, with oil being very much focused around the edge of the river. And if you are concerned about the air pollution, it is all blowing down toward the coastline over the ocean. But otherwise, I am extremely excited to see Sidai back making maps in Cities Skylines. All is right with the world again. I'm an enormous Sidai fan, so we got some little interchange fun going on over here. Guess it's a little kind of single point urban, is it? I think I'm not massively familiar with all my American interchanges. But very nice, very cute. Got a little arterial road off here ready to be expanded. And Sidai's definitely gone with the flat buildable space here. It's referenced in the map description too. Definitely was a problem with a lot of the base game maps that the terrain was so unruly. So if you're looking for a very sort of clinical flat map that you can do whatever you like on, Cloudy Bay is definitely going to be a good shout for that. More really nice embanked interchanges up here using the new features from CS2, of course. Really nice interchange work from Sidai as always, and I think he's even got a guest interchange in Funk's map, which we'll have a little look at later on in the video as well. But beautiful work from him as always. More a place to expand here as well. If we do arrive a little suspension arch bridge over here, which is very cute, more suspension cables rather. And then this feeds off into the wider networks again, where you greet with more classic sort of Sidai interchange work, right? It's kind of like a really kind of warped trumpet system here. Super cool designs as always from Sidai. You just don't expect anything less from him. And then this does meet up at your buildable boundary, but of course, 529 tiles will see you expand beyond that should you so wish. The river work is wonderful, really nice again. Different little islands appearing as it all snakes down toward the Granda coastline, which dominates a good chunk of the map over here as you kind of head down toward the sea. You do have a big coastal area to work with, should you so wish, with lots of very nice waterways here as well, continuing in that same almost kind of like finger island rivers, aren't they? Really nice. Love this sort of terraforming. It has a very sort of distinctive visual style to it, doesn't it? Very Sidai as well. A lot of Bay of Rivers is like this too. It's super cool, and it's really nice to see Sidai back. So it's a pretty simple map, just very tastefully put together, nice flat buildable space. So if you are looking to play a very buildable map by one of these Cities Skylines map building legends that is Sidai, you can come ahead and grab one of his first ever maps here in Cloudy Bay. Nice and buildable, super vanilla friendly, and great networking and terraforming and river work to go along with it. You'll have fun on Cloudy Bay. Give it a go. Next up is Owl's Uskumru Bay, which is absolutely wonderful. It is based in the European theme. It has a 3 to 34 degrees centigrade atmosphere, set within the Northern Hemisphere and a nice 57% buildable area. Ton natural resources and all of its available outside connections. Those interested in its natural resources, it is not as dense really as the other ones, but lots of fertile land in the foothills, if you like, with spatterings of ore available on the mountain ridges, with also small amounts of oil available in the foothills as well. Those looking at air pollution and planning industry, all of your dirty air is blowing out towards the water. So Owl has done a really nice job of this. So I know there's a lot of people in the community that don't really like kind of overly engineered infrastructure maps, and your starting area here is certainly very heavily engineered. So that will put some people off, I believe, but if you're not one of those people, the way he's done the networks here is absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at this. It's super nice. He's used the stacked road features here to get on top of the highway. Some great little slip ramps here as well with just like perfect geometry, and it's just a great map to look at, isn't it? Really nice networking here as well coming out of the bridge. That also has a rail accompanying it too, next to the big vanilla suspension arch here as well. With really nice river work again, kind of seeing these little finger islands come across. It's all very inspiring for map making here. So super cute sort of waterways to build around your starting area. So yeah, not many maps start with the big 6-lane roads across here. So if you're not a fan of those kind of big built-up areas, but you know, once you load in, you can change this to whatever you want to be. But it is pretty built up for the start of a map, especially compared to some of the other ones we'll see today. But we get really nice slip lane work coming down here. Super creative interchanges, some of the most creative I think I've seen so far in CS2. A really nice use of the cut and fill feature, the stacking feature, it's all very impressive. So really nice work over here. Same thing as well with another interchange down this way. Super compact and just geometric, just really nice to look at. And then this theme continues across the map with a trumpet design over this way. Nice big rail interchange over here with some more of that layering going on. Just really nice. He's done a super great map of it. As we've all been kind of talking in the early access beta testing group, we're all blown away by Owl's work here. Just super nice what he's done with it. So we'll get into the foothills here where it gets much heavily forested. There's a country road running through here, a little 4-lane highway that heads up into the mountains, and of course off and over out into the non-buildable area. But of course 529 tiles will sort that out for you. More great interchange designs here, and you can really get kind of a scale and scope of the map here as you kind of sit up in the foothills and it all winds down hill toward the bay over there as well. More great networking over the rivers over here too. Always nice to see. Great mountains as a little backdrop as well. Just super pretty and just so much nicer and buildable than anything that comes with the base game. So I would probably suggest kind of Owl's map here as the go-to map. I think for me, I think I would love to build a city on this once I get my own map done. It is taking a very long time. Believe me, once you see these map makers in action, you gain a whole new appreciation for the art of map making. They really do have just another eye for it. They're so talented. More little great networks over here as well. Great use of this big suspension arch over the islands. It looks really cute. More little national roads and interchanges and slipways. And more great river terraforming through this way. So just, it's absolutely gorgeous. There's pretty much nothing to criticize about this map. It's absolutely, not that I'm trying to criticize maps anyway. I'm really just trying to treat this as a showcase. This isn't kind of a ranking or anything. But more great networking over here. There's a lot of bridges in the map. Very tasteful bridges as well over canyons where it makes sense. So super happy to see that. And then this winds into another interchange that hooks into your highway. So it's a super well interconnected map. There's already plenty of interchanges on the highways and the national roads across different parts of the map. So it's just really well put together. I feel like I'm repeating myself. But you can see from the footage, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely wonderful. Definitely one of the more interesting maps. Some beautiful networking to be had here. So definitely check out Owl's Uskumru Bay. Lots of buildable space with fantastic network design. The rivers are gorgeous. It's got a nice kind of mountainous, hilly backdrop to it. With some more interesting terrain as well. It's nowhere near as flat as Sidai's map is. So if you're after those hills, you can't go wrong with this one. Give it a go. Let me know what you think of it. Definitely one of my favourites, this. Next up is another Cities Skylines 1 legend. Ami Polizzi Funk returns with his interpretation of Seattle in Washington. It is of course based in the North American atmosphere, has a climate range of -13 to 24 degrees centigrade. It's set within the Northern Hemisphere, has a 46% buildable area, and has all of its outside connections and natural resources. For those interested in the natural resources, it is predominantly very tree heavy, so because of that there is a ton of wood around the map, as you can see with all the green, but there are spatterings of fertile land against the waterways, with oil and ore also appearing occasionally across the map as well. And for those interested in your air pollution, everything is blowing to the southwest if you take this interpretation, kind of away from all of your main bodies of water. Well, this is a fantastic looking map, of course, based off of a height map of actual Seattle. But let's take a look at some of the structure around here. So, love the terraforming here to kind of gear you into setting up a breakwater and a bit of a port and a harbour over this way. Seattle's not really a city I'm overly familiar with, but seeing this map alone makes me quite interested to go check it out, actually. Lots of industrial water formation along here, as you can see, it looks like it's trying to get you into. We've also got some beautiful work over here as well with interchanges, so I believe, I'll leave an annotation up on screen if this is true, but Sidai has collabed in this map with him to create some of the interchanges. I'm not sure if it's all of them. But look at that. Holy crap. How do you even go about setting something like that up? Absolutely nuts. Different gravies. I'm pretty sure this is a Sidai interchange, like I said. Editing egg will confirm, but it's a really stunning bit of infrastructure, isn't it? So if you're into your interchanges, you can't really go wrong here. Multi-layered. Absolutely stunning. This all then feeds off against some wonderful embanked highways that do eventually feed over through a tunnel down across this major bay over here, which is super large and impressive. It's actually, I guess it's a lake, is it? I guess it does go out into the ocean, so it could be a bay, I'm not sure. Looks like a lake, doesn't it, really? I'm not sure, but I guess it is connected. So super cool. Really interesting topography over here as well. I'm guessing this is stuff that's come with the height map. But some nice hills to work with. It's not a super flat space to build on, which, you know, some people will really enjoy, some people might not be a huge fan of, but I do like hills in my map, so a big fan of this. Really cute infrastructure, using the bridges over here again, where he has switched into the two-lane, two-way bridge here, but I'm guessing he just wants the aesthetic of the arches. I've seen Imperator do this before as well, kind of switch this out. So the lane math does collapse, but it's clearly for the aesthetic, so I'm not really bothered about that. So really nice, looks super cute. And then this all feeds off to the edge of your buildable area, where you will come across some small little lakes available. These almost look like water treatment lakes, don't they, with the shape of them? They're really cool to see all this stuff out this way. More rivers interconnect with the rail line that we started over right here. And then there's a ton of waterways, and of course you can go ahead and get further out into these waterways if you wish, using the 529 tiles mod. Also very cute to see some cargo ships coming through here as well. They're actually going to come into the bay. I don't think they will, wait. Not sure. What's that? Really cool infrastructure over here as well. Definitely some kind of big industrial island here in Seattle, isn't there? I definitely need to go ahead and check out Seattle in Google Earth after seeing this map. And if you are one of those people that's looking to do a kind of real life recreation of an area, then Funk has already gone ahead and set up the perfect recreation for Seattle if you want to go ahead and do it. But a legend of Cities Skylines 1, and it's cool to see him already posting maps for CS2 in the map editor beta. But really stunning work. Again, I'm pretty sure Sidai has collabed with some of these interchanges, so big shout out to two legends of Cities Skylines 1, of course. Nice to see them back and active in the community. But great map, really nice work from Funk. Go ahead and check it out. Really, really pretty map, this one. And last but certainly not least, today we have Lake Onoke, or Onoke, I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced, from Rafterman, who also made the first map in today's video, the Black Dragon Canyon. This is a North American themed map, a 5 to 28 degrees centigrade climate located in the Northern Hemisphere. It also has a 50% buildable area, all of its outside connections and all available natural resources, and I believe this is also based off of a real life location in New Zealand. For those interested in the natural resources, the whole kind of flatlands and lowland of the valley is fertile land, so no issues at all as to where to place your farms. And then the ridges and the peaks hold most of the ore, although the shape of this oil area is a little bit suspicious. And for those looking to deal with pollution, The wind is blowing everything over toward the east of this perspective. So this is a fantastically pretty map, again based off a real life location in New Zealand. And the mountains themselves are very kind of New Zealand, aren't they? It's very much kind of the Riders of Rohan, if you like. Return to Middle Earth, isn't it? These very dramatic peaks. You imagine the mines of Moria are over there somewhere. But in terms of the topography, it's very, very nice. You do have, I guess, rolling hills, I guess, more toward the edge of mountains. And some really nice upgrade work here to kind of create safety barriers and sharper turns around the roads. I really like what he's done with the road networks themselves. With lots of very tasteful forest and overgrowth in between the valleys. It's a really pretty map. It's nice to see the map makers start introducing some proper kind of hearty, authentic forest. I feel like this sort of stuff is lacking a lot in the vanilla game. And you can see from this perspective over here again as well, it just flows really nicely, that forest, doesn't it? You can see it wrap up the slopes here. Super nice, big fan of it. There's a lake also dotted around in the foot of the mountains here as well. And if you've played with the water sources in CS2, you gain a whole new appreciation for just how bloody difficult this can be. So really nice water feature. As we approach the valley, we also meet up with some nice little kind of land boundaries. We've been doing this a ton in Onoke Bay recently. Just the tree lining demarcating fields. I really like this sort of stuff in maps. I think we saw Sanctum Gamer do it quite a lot in his map pack from CS1, if you can throw your mind back to some of those maps. But really nice, love all the hills through here. And the land cuts through. We've also got, which is what I'm a big fan of this map, is there's no, like, huge, monstrous 3-lane highway. It very much feels like a county build, this map, which I'm a huge fan of. Definitely my preferred way to play in CS, I think, these days, is building the smaller counties with the main metropolitan centre rather than just endless 3-lane highway sprawl, I think. Really nice waterwork around here again, as you do head up to the sort of the big lake here again. Kind of looks like a super bay, doesn't it? Just really nice landscapes to play and work with. Big fan of it. Some kind of preset rail yard work to play with over here as well, should you want to get rail in at some point. And then this comes back over through here where it meets up with a little dirt road, and the sort of rolling hills vibe starts to take over here again as well as you leave this kind of central, more landscaped valley. And then the river diverges over here into multiple different channels as it kind of spans off to the edge of the map, out of the buildable area. But of course, don't forget, you can get out there with 529 tiles if you want an absolutely enormous space to play with. So there's tons of things you can do with this map. It's super pretty, it's very well landscaped, and it's super nicely designed. I think Rafterman has certainly made a name for himself in the CS2 map making community already. His work on Black Dragon Canyon and this one alone. I believe he also has another map on there as well. He's got quite a few. I'm not sure if he was actually a CS1 map builder. I was never overly familiar with CS1 maps anyway. I kind of had custom maps, or I played on DLC maps. But a really nice map, this one, super buildable, nice and friendly, just like Sid Eyes is, and really well made as well. So definitely give Lake Onoke or Onoke a look. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm sure the comments will let me know. You always do. But aside that, great map. Give it a go. You will very much enjoy this one, I think. Otherwise, guys, that is going to do it for today. If you have enjoyed the video, likes, comments, and shares below always really help out. Massive shout out to the Patreon supporting the channel. If you're interested in getting involved in that, there are links to Patreon down below if you'd like to support the channel, and also to Instant Gaming and get yourself a super good deal at the same time. Some really great maps on launch for CS2. I know at the time of recording this, which is on the release of Paradox Mods, it is having a little bit of a shaky start. I think the numbers are overwhelming the servers, so hopefully by the time you guys see this video, that has calmed down. Otherwise, I'll leave links to each of these maps below. Go ahead and check them out. Some really nice ones. And let me know if you're interested in keeping up to date with maps on CS2. Maybe we can do this every 2 or 3 weeks or every month and just kind of refresh the best maps available. Let me know if you're interested in some more map content. Otherwise, let's thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.